Oh, good morning. It is November 8th, day 152 on the trail for me. I've left the Tray Mountain Shelter area and made the short climb up to the peak of Tray Mountain, and now I'm on the descent. Had a nice little view back there. There were a couple others. Got an interesting sunrise today. Sort of above the clouds, and you could see the sun rising above the clouds and getting off those nice colors. That was pretty cool, and didn't have to really move far from the shelter to get a decent picture. It was an interesting night. Probably not even 5 minutes after I finished the last video yesterday, a cloud rolled in, and we were in the mist for a few hours after that, and then it cleared out. You could see the stars, and then another cloud came in, and that just seemed to happen several times overnight. When the cloud was gone, the moon was shining like right into the shelter, and then the cloud rolled in, and the moon was covered. You couldn't see it. It was interesting. There was somebody else at the shelter again. That was nice. His name is David. He was there. He was at Orchard Gap the night before. He came in after I made the last video, and he's looking to do pretty much the same miles as me again today. So I'll probably see him at the end of today as well. Speaking of today, the plan is about 15 and a half miles. And I think it's about, I don't remember the exact numbers. I know there's more descent than climbing today. And doesn't look too bad. Just, there's two significant climbs, but not too bad. And if I'm going to believe the weather, today's good, and the weekend into Monday is not so good. Who knows? Alrighty, well, as always, if I see anything interesting, I will grab a picture or some video. But for now, here's what the trail looks like. A decent view here from the trail. Above the clouds. And here's the trail right now. Headed to Unicoi Gap. And Kelly messaged me earlier, and he said he's got coffee waiting for me there. This is the Blue Mountain Shelter. Not staying here, but it was just a little bit off the trail, so I figured I'd stop by and check it out. Looks like somebody's been here recently. We got looks like fresh ash in the fireplace. Yeah. And, all right, nice table for cooking, and yeah, overall looks like it's in pretty good shape. All right, see you in a bit. All right, I'm about 12 miles in, I suppose. And got some word from a hostel, Standing Bear Hostel. Now, they are just north of the Smokies. So just north of Davenport Gap, which is where I started this section. And they are telling me, Kelly talked to them, so he told Kelly that hikers are getting through from Hot Springs. So Kelly is working on a plan right now to get me up to Hot Springs so I can hike that 32, 33 miles, something like that, down to Davenport Gap, and then get me back into Georgia so I can finish out the trail. So that's some exciting news. I still wish I could see something on Far Out. Any recent comments, but there's nothing recent, nothing since the storms, or just slightly after the storms. But I'm gonna keep checking, see if there's anything on there now. The last time I checked was a few days ago. It would be nice to have some corroboration other than from the hostel, who I'm sure wants people to come by, right? Because the more people that come by, the more people will stay there. We'll see. Alrighty, well, more about that later if it comes to fruition. It's been nice and level for a while. This is some nice trail here. All right, so here's what it looks like. All right, so made it to Low Gap. I'm on the short blue blaze that leads to the shelter. The last couple miles were downhill, which is always nice. Fortunately, I think that means I got to start with an uphill tomorrow, but that's the way it goes, right? For the gap. All right, so this shelter looks similar to when we were at yesterday. You got some little tables on the side, so you can prepare food there if you want. Got a nice picnic table in front. I always appreciate a picnic table. Let's see what we got here. Cable, all right, bare cables for hanging your food. And should be a water source nearby, and I'll find that. All right, so like usual, now it's time to take a little break, rest, grab a snack, and get situated. All right, I'll see you later. All right, so I'm at the Low Gap shelter area, and waited a little bit too long. It's gotten dark out, so got the lights on. There's a couple other people here. The one guy who's been at the shelters the past 2 nights is here again. His name's David. He's doing the section, the Georgia section. And there's another couple down there, and probably a father and son that are camping. They put their tents up somewhere else. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a good night tonight. It's supposed to be nice and clear and cool. Hopefully the mist doesn't come in again like it did last night. Just when that happens, you know, you're like my quilt just gets a little damp and everything's just a little damp in the morning. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But it was a good day, nice day hiking. It was a little warm, but not too bad. Right now, the plan for tomorrow is a little over 11 miles, and that's going to get me to Neal Gap. Kelly's going to pick me up there, I think, go back to his camper for the night, and then in the morning, we're going to head over, not exactly sure yet. We're going to try and figure out if I'm going to Davenport Gap and hiking north to Hot Springs, or going to Hot Springs and hiking south to Davenport Gap. Well, it mainly just depends on how easy it is to get into Hot Springs. If he figures he can get into Hot Springs easy enough, we'll probably do that. But I went on Far Out earlier today, and I did see a recent comment on one of the water sources. So that gives me another indication that yes, people are hiking through. I wish there were more than one, but I'll take one. So I'm gonna, get into one of those spaces tomorrow and start hiking, and it looks like probably be 2 nights out there, and then get back to Neal Gap and finish it up. And from Neal Gap, it'll probably be 2 more nights there. So I'm looking at maybe 4 more nights on the trail with 6 actual days of hiking. That's what it's sort of looking like. So I'm not exactly sure when I'll be I had it all. I thought I was going to be done on Monday. Today's Friday. I thought I was going to be done on Monday at Springer, but now, who knows? I'll be done when I'm done. And I will have completed, ideally, the whole thing, instead of having that one section left over that I gotta, somehow get back to. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. Well, as always, if you've stuck through to the end, you know I appreciate it. I'll see you again tomorrow on the trail.